All right, guys, how's it going? Just got through being on a live, well, not being on a live stream, but chatting with Kirk and Billy. Billy was doing a live stream that was really interesting. Just kind of fucking, kind of bullshitting around. Really felt how do I put it? It felt like just hanging out. It was kind of cool. I like that a lot. So shout out to Billy, Stardust Simulation. Pretty cool guy. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I really want to cover. Um, I gotta cover some community posts. I want to go over Kirk's video where he's talking about art and some other subjects, and I want to do another art demo. It's like, man, where the hell do I find the time for all that? Um, also wanted to go over comments section, comments I've left the past like couple of days that I haven't really been able to get into. So I got this set up again with my using my phone as a webcam to kind of just I don't know, just to show my face again. I guess it don't really matter, but I got a sketchbook from Dollar Tree, Dollar General actually, and it's got some grain to it. By the way, what I'm doing here when I'm touching it, um, not that it matters too much, but if you want to be serious, a serious artist, you don't do this because there's oils on your hands that will affect the charcoal and the graphite. Your oils get mixed up with this, and it's just not pretty. So typically, if I'm gonna do like pencil sketches or whatever, I'll typically pick a page from the middle, just so I know that my fingers and hands haven't. Well, especially when you buy them from like a store, um, 9 times out of 10, when somebody touches the paper to feel the grain, to feel how what's the name for it? I forgot the fucking name for it. The grit, to feel how gritty it is. They'll typically usually touch the first page. Sometimes they'll go to the middle and touch that. But oils get on the page and it doesn't mix with, like I said, it doesn't mix with the graphite or the charcoal very well. And sometimes it causes problems. But if you're just practicing, it doesn't fucking matter. But let's say, for instance, you want to do a finished work, right, of like a face or a study or whatever. Um, yeah, just be careful when you're touching the page. All right. Um, this weird, fucking weird lore. Some weird lore in there. I'm gonna use the first page, I don't give a fuck. So let's get into Kirk's video first, and I'll try to remember what I wanted to talk about specifically. Make this a little more bigger for my sake. Um, Gotta fix this. Sorry about this. At a time. Oh yeah, we'll do that. Bear with me. Bear with me. Windows a mess. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, let's go ahead and play.
On the first one that I was going to talk about. Um, let's see. So, how does Rudy feel about AI assisted art? Let's not just say completely AI generated, but in this case AI assisted
Oh,
art.
I forgot about that.
Because I saw some Toho art posted on that Toho subreddit. And I looked at it and I had a feeling there was
But he
something
got stuck.
off about it. I had a feeling it was AI generated in some way. But then when I checked the comments, people were confused as well if it was AI generated. Apparently, the artist that made it, or whatever you want to say, the artist that it originally came from, or whatever, uh, apparently that artist like uses AI to generate some image, then they trace over it and correct obvious mistakes, like with
Mm-hmm.
messed up text and such. Because like in this image, it had like a stack of books, and they all had some kind of text on their spine. So I was thinking if it was AI generated, usually the text gets pretty fucked up. But in this case, it looked like it wasn't fucked up, or at least not that fucked up, like that, to the point where you think like immediately, oh, that's AI
Kind of
generated
wish he would
art.
have shown it.
Um, But
It
then you
is what
looked
it
at
is.
other things and it looked weird. It looked strange. Um, Correct obvious mistakes and messed up text and such. And I just wanted to say, what's your opinion on stuff like that? What's your opinion on stuff like that, like AI assisted, where in this case they generate an image and then they like trace over it and correct errors. I imagine maybe change like a few things here and there and shit. Um,
I mean, to answer the question, I guess it depends on what their skill is. Like, what do their original works look like? Because to me, like, if you're trying to learn art, like AI definitely isn't the way to go. But if you're one of those people who just wants to do AI art and you don't have an eye for it, like you don't have the visual library for it, or the person who's doing the AI art doesn't necessarily have the visual eye for it, the visual library for it. It's like I don't know. It's I wouldn't recommend it, but on a personal level, I don't care. Like people can do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to like do art, if they want to like, let's say they're like skilled, right? They've been drawing for 15 years, pretty high level. They want to maybe speed up the process, right? What's the word for it? Expedite. I think that might be the word for it. Expedite the process and kind of speed up. Maybe they got a set style already or something, right? And they can kind of expedite the whole process. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Back here. Oh, that's real distracting. There we go. The window I was using to I'm gonna have to keep it up. Will it show? Nope. Be super distracted. Hold on, guys. Move it. Hold on just a second. There we go. I'll put Steam in front of it. I'll see in the background of the webcam, like my phone, on the browser, because I'm actually streaming the browser to OBS or whatever it's called, whatever that process is called. But if somebody like if let's say they're really good or they have enough knowledge to draw hands right really well or feet or whatever the harder parts of the human body, or they're really good at perspective or whatever, and they generate an AI image, and he has to go in and fix those issues, and they're really good with Photoshop, and they can make it look like their style. You know, they make it look like their style really well. And it's like but like I said, me personally, I don't care. I mean, I've made AI videos before, and maybe it's a bit hypocritical, but obviously I don't have an issue with AI art in general. Um, I don't think it's some weird boogeyman, but I do think it's becoming a tool for like the not milk, or rather, the authorities to begin to come in with the boots, right? To come in with their boots. What's the phrase? To start knocking down doors, and you know, like the big old pedophile scare lately. Billy had linked a video, not a video, but yeah, it was a video. It's a news report where the Christian school teacher, was it in Florida? Yeah, it was in Florida. The Christian schools teacher was basically making AI generated images of his students, like his sixth grade students, of you know, in pornographic in nature, and there's a gray area now, right, of what's allowed and what shouldn't be allowed and all that, and so it's slowly this plan is slowly coming into fruition where they're using AI as a proxy or as a method or a tool rather to start invading your space more and more. Um, you know, as if to say, I'm not sure how to put it, but I did a video about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, where I talked about this subject, and I'm kind of fuzzy on the details, even though I just watched it a few days ago. But they're setting up a system for like real ID and all that. Like you gotta have the little star on your ID now, whatever the fuck that means, right? So stupid. Like supposedly they're not gonna let you into a government building unless your ID has a little star on it. So dumb. But like it's gonna get to the point where you don't even have access to your own Wi-Fi network. Give this about 10 years, okay? 10, 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years maybe. Maybe sooner. It's going to happen. Look, this is going to happen before the baby boomer generation dies because they need the boomers. They need the scared boomers. They need the scared Gen Xers to kind of push this into the forefront because they're going to scare them about AI. Oh, our children are being, are being whatever thanks to this AI thing, and they're going to scare everybody with it. They're going to start locking it down, and then that's going to be the pre-excuse to start implementing this real ID system where you can't even log into your own Wi-Fi network. You can't even have internet access unless you have a government issued ID. And to me, that's gonna be like they're the ones who manufacture the problem. Then they offer the solutions and like a manufactured problem solution situation. There's a term for that. I just forgot what it was. Doesn't matter. I think you get my point. I know that had nothing to do with art, but there is a push for that kind of stuff. That's why it was given to us for free, right? Um, so many years back or 2 years ago, however long it was. Feels like forever ago, honestly. Um, what else? So yeah, just to answer your question, personally, I don't care. I don't care what people do with it. They can make all you can know. They can even. I don't give a shit if they make lolicon images out of it. Just like fucking do what you want. It's not like they're actual children. It's actually getting kind of ridiculous with the laws they're trying to pass and all of that.
To me, it does.
And also, I had a real issue with that article just to get into it real quick. Like, so the lawyer lady that was on the newscast was basically saying so the worry is that social media, right? A person can go on social media, Jesus, take screenshots of whatever or save the images onto their computer of a family, right? A family and their children, and that's like it's like, oh, now they can make pornography of them using AI, and that's the scare, right? That's the scare tactic they're going to use. And it was basically shifting the blame from the parents. It's like, so because she said something along the lines of, oh, they shouldn't have to worry, like kind of we shouldn't be victim blaming in these scenarios. People should be able to post what they want. It's like, no, they shouldn't be able to post what they want at all because it starts with the parents. All right, the parents are the first motherfuckers, the first line of defense, right? And this is also the big trick where it's like the parents should be the first line of defense to tell their little shitball children to be like, hey, there's people out there that are predators. We can't be posting our family vacation photos everywhere we go because not only can we be tracked, they got our faces, and yeah, this AI thing might become a problem. It's like, yeah, the guardians of the family are the ones that have to step in and tell the little shitball kids we can't be posting on social media all the fucking time because it can be dangerous. But they're trying to get a situation like the powers that be, right, are trying to get a situation to where they want you to rely on the government. So they go, oh, you should be able to post online no matter what. When the reality is, it's like they want the authority away from the parents as much as possible, right? So they want the parents to run to the authorities anytime a problem happens, right? So this idea of zero responsibility, where when an incident like this happens, in this scenario in particular with the teacher and his sixth grade students, um, I don't have a solution. It's like, but I'm pretty sure someone way smarter than me can come up with some bullshit to prevent something like this, right? Where it's like, maybe the parents need to get more involved with the teachers they're dealing with, right? Because this dude looked, just basing it on looks, okay? This dude looked like some kind of weird predator, all right? Um, Billy Akala said that he had a soy face. He had a millennial soy face. That's really funny. But Yeah, so that's like I said, it's astroturfed. I'm using that phrase a lot lately, astroturfing, because it's like so applicable to so many things right now. It's like everything seems to be just put in place to cause a problem. That way, the government swoops in, either state or what's it called, state or federal government swoops in and solves the problem, right? And all these lawyer fucks get to have their little jobs. They get to keep their jobs. It's self-perpetuating. That's why you had this stupid lawyer bitch saying these things the way she did, because she doesn't want the parents to be empowered. She doesn't want the parents to have authority because it's in her best interest. This lawyer bitch, it's in her best interest to make sure that the children aren't protected by the parents. They want the government to step in at every single point in their lives because they want adults. They want loyal adults, right? They want loyal soldiers, loyal workers to rely on the power, right? The supposed power. It's not about it's not about spiritual power. It's just this physical, this physical plane. They want control of this physical plane. That's all it's about. It's gonna be a weird video. Whatever. It's gonna be a variety show. Fuck it.
Does make it feel kind of soulless. It is one a few things here and there and shit. Um, to me, it does make it feel kind of soulless. It's just strange, like looking at it, like kind of you could tell that it's off, that it wasn't fully created by a human or whatever. At least the end product, and yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I asked. I mean, I we did talk about AI generated stuff, but I don't know if I asked your opinion on what it is. Like me, like, and then I guess the end of the day, you can't stop people from generating these AI images and shit. Like I was just, like earlier, I was going through a bunch of images to get like some like I don't know, placeholder images or assets or whatever for like a thing that I'll probably do at the end of this video, like a little like sort of presentation thing. But I was just looking through like some of these like generic image searches or like for like whatever, like some things. It's so clear that like I don't know about most of them, but so many of them are fucking just AI generated stuff. And I mean, like, it works, but you can just tell, like, right away, like, something is off about it. And I mean, as I've said with, like, that e-hentai website, fucking, I recently put a filter for, like, tags, because I guess they eventually added an AI generated tag or whatever. So, galleries that have the AI generated tag, they get filtered out. But it shows me how many on a page, and for mine it has 50 results for one page for each page, and then you have to go to the next page or whatever, and then it's more 50 more results. But it shows you how many galleries were filtered from that page of results, and it's like fucking so much of the time. One time I think I saw like 48 results out of 50 were filtered out before that were AI generated or like had that tag that were filtered out. And these are ones that are just tagged with it. Many of them I don't even think have, like, a lot of them don't even get tagged with it, or at least don't get tagged with it immediately. And it's just like crazy, just a flood of
Yeah,
just AI
it's really
generated
bad.
crap. And you could just like, I know if you took like
Like that website Senkaku. Oh, it's 911 pixels. That's funny. The way I have my camera set up, that's weird. Yeah, the Senkaku complex website that I visit. The AI stuff is really bad. It's like fucking nonstop flood of bullshit.
one, I know they did like some thing did like a survey of like people if they could notice if something is AI generated or not, and most people seem to be wrong. Like they mistake AI generated stuff for not AI generated, and the other way around, the AI generated stuff for or not AI generated stuff for AI generated or whatever. Um, but I don't know. As soon as I learn that something is AI generated, it just takes something away from it. And I know it sounds silly and it kind of
It don't
simulates
bother
the
me as
source,
much.
but you can just tell it's there's something not right with it. and the stuff it generally puts in is so like generic, like the shading and the lighting effects and like this semi-realistic quote unquote like glossiness that everything seems to get. Uh it just takes so much away from it. I don't know. But that's just my opinion on it. And this AI assisted shit, I kind of think basically the same thing. Like I don't know, like I can understand people like the getting the instant gratification, instant results without actually really having to do that much on their own or actually like learn the skill. It's kind of like these people that quote unquote learn to code by mostly letting like Chat GPT do the most of the
Yeah.
work for them. But then they kind of find out that they don't really know anything. Like they like as soon as that Chat GPT is gone, as soon as the handicap or the crutch is gone or whatever, the crutches are gone. They don't know how to do what they've supposedly been doing this whole time using these tools or whatever. So I kind of see the same thing with the AI generated or AI assisted shit. Just wondering what your opinion on this whole thing is, because
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much
I don't
kind
know if
of.
you have much exposure to it, um, as like I have in some ways, but I imagine you kind of do to some extent. Um,
You know I'm a degenerate like that,
and the
man.
next thing I was gonna ask was,
Uh,
how does a guy like this one I
so yeah, I kind of gave my opinion on that already. I don't care that much. I assume, or actually, I would say it probably makes a lot more difference in the programming kind of aspect to me. That's a little more sensitive. But when it comes to visual art, it's like that don't matter. No one's getting harmed. I can only imagine the issues that coding can cause. And that part's disturbing to me if people are taking shortcuts, with their programming. So I'm not a programmer. I don't know anything about programming. I'm just assuming that it would become a pretty big deal. So just kind of just doing shit while I was just fucking around with these are called graphite sticks. I know I'm not talking about what I'm doing. I was just kind of wanting to dick around with them, with these, kind of showcase what you can do with them. So I was just making, in case you were wondering, I'm just making practice marks just to get a feel for how these uh just to like get familiar with them. I always think of Neo, that game Neo with the samurai guy. What's his name? William something. Doesn't matter. You know. What is he? Irish? Is he Irish? I forget. Irish, Scottish. I don't remember what he is. He's not British, but he's like supposedly the first white samurai or something, right? Um, so I always think of that game Neo because there's a stat for your weapons for the weapons that you use called familiarity. Familiarity. Yeah. And it's like a stat you could skill up. The more you use that one weapon, the more familiar you get with it, and the stronger it gets. And that's how I kind of see this as. It's a really good way to put it, where I'm getting familiar with the instruments I'm using. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really really familiar with ballpoint pens, especially these cheap ones. I'm not as familiar with graphite sticks, but I'm getting a feel for it. You know what I mean? So that's what I was doing, just practicing making marks, getting familiar with the tool that I'm using. To me, it's really important to get a feel for whatever implement you decide to use. Um, yeah, that supply chain thing was really, really interesting. Where else did you talk about art? It might have been a previous recording that I'm looking for.
put literally like like a few minutes before I made this started recording this, because you commented on Billy's most recent video. Um, so I just said, might as well bring this up as a topic because it's kind of interesting. But like, how does a guy deal with a woman that is one of these stimulus chasing types that buys endless amounts of junk like all the time to get that little high from buying stuff, just whatever it is, just
I don't
buying
know.
something and they get a little high from it.
Um,
Like, how does a guy in a relationship with one?
I can't give an opinion on that because my wife is not like that, and I've never had to deal with a woman that was like that. So thank God, like my wife is not like that. Her and I both grew up. Um, we both grew up knowing that our parents were struggling to make the rent, if that makes sense. So we were always hyper aware. Both of us went through the kind of same thing, even though she was a little more privileged, right, quote unquote, than I was. She still went through the trauma of stupid parents that are really bad with money and they're always worried about making rent. So she got it ingrained in her head at a very early age to save money. Thank God, because her and I are the same way in a lot of ways. Um, I want to find the video that talked about art, so give me a moment. I don't think it was that. So supply chain, rambling about obnoxious people. Might have been this. The
Hey.
can't view this place logically anymore kind of thing. Yeah, it might have been this.
So I
So we'll go over this in just a second. I want I'll show you what I did with the. I know I'm not explaining what I'm doing, but like I said, it's a variety show. I'll get into it eventually. So I want to talk about these graphite sticks a little bit. Give me a minute, guys. All right. So these graphite sticks, obviously they're graphite. They're basically, in case you don't know, what's in here is the same as this right here, only in stick form. All right. And you can break these in half and stuff. I'm not going to do that because I really don't want to make a mess. But it's the same idea. Explain the HB and the B and the H and all that, right? So the HB would be right in the middle. 2B is, so we got bold, and then we got 2B, which is bolder. So from lightest to dark, Jesus, didn't break it. HB is going to be the lightest, B is bold, the next step up, 2B is the next step up. So light, dark, and darker, right? And what I was doing here, just to, I don't know, I was just fucking around, okay? I was just taking the edge, and you can draw with this, like, obviously you can draw with the tip like that, make marks on the page, and I want you to take a note of what I did, maybe not obvious to most people. I don't care about this, okay? I don't care about this paper. So, I don't care, give a fuck, it's just paper. Making marks, next page, use the back half, probably doesn't have the grit. Does it have the grit? Not really. No, the back isn't gritty. But you can still use it, right? So, whatever. So what I was doing here, I was keeping the edge here parallel and making strokes like that to give like, almost like an edgy, kind of an edge effect, you know? And then I just drew this crap box, but I just kind of drew the box. Kind of a piss poor perspective here. You know what I mean? Just having fun. It doesn't matter. Just to get a feel for the instrument. Right? This is messy as fuck, okay? Don't do what I'm doing. This isn't in perspective at all. I'm just giving an example. Um, there's if you're really really good, there's a way you can like give the illusion of built-in edges. It's be something I have to practice. I really need a shorter. I really need like a little sticky piece, but I'm not gonna. Like I said, I don't feel like breaking these. But you could think of these sides as edges. Kind of manipulate the corners and stuff. I don't know, something like that. Like I said, I'm not that good at it, but you can kind of already imagine a box here. Like this is maybe like the side of the box is dark right here, and this is like the top part. I'll draw it out. Top part of the box. See what I mean? But you can quickly get some shading in that way. So just to hack, drawing hacks. And like I said, when I came up here, I just shaded the whole thing. Put some marks. Just having fun. Darken it most here at the bottom because it's touching the ground. To give the illusion of it being grounded. Alright, does that make think I made myself clear on that? Not a super fan of graphite sticks, okay? But I don't have a problem with them. They're fun. Whoops. Petty. Putty keeps getting stuck. Silly, goofy little guy. I tend to, I don't know, it's weird the things I think about. What's the name of it? Anthropomorphize, whatever. I tend to do that with things a lot. I don't know why, but I tend to bond with objects a little easier, if that makes sense. We'll go to the next page. I guess I'm just strange like that. So same idea, soft, medium, hard. Soft is the darkest, medium, and then hard is the lightest. So we'll play around with this light one because I don't want to get charcoal everywhere. Putty's being annoying. Oh yeah, and the pastels. I don't feel like really messing with these too much. These are better. This white one in particular is better on colored paper, in my opinion. I think this is white charcoal. I misspoke when I said it was pastel. This is actually white charcoal. It's really good on black paper. Maybe I'll sharpen this one just to play with it. And I guess I could record myself doing that if I really want to. The toothpick isn't necessary, okay? I just happen to have one. Makes grabbing things easier. It's kind of stupid. Or poking things out easier, rather. Let's go and continue.
I guess I didn't have like that much to specifically talk about. Just earlier, I was kind of bored, and I decided to do a little bit of drawing practice and stuff. And I used the pencil more than a pen or whatever. I like drawing with a pencil. It is just annoying that as you're drawing, obviously, or whatever you're doing with it, it fucking keeps getting more and more like blunted and dull or whatever, like pretty quickly. And I guess it all depends mostly on how much pressure that you put onto it, obviously, how quickly it dulls out or blunts. And it's kind of annoying with the pencil sharpener that I have on hand. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just always how it is with like pencils. Like, it doesn't always sharpen very nice.
Yeah.
And then it feels like you have to keep sharpening it just to get like, there's always like
So
one side that gets like
I guess this is an older video.
It's more
Well, I'll go ahead and
by
listen to it for a bit.
the wood or whatever, so then you have like only one, it feels like only one side that has like any graphite exposed on it or whatever. Maybe it's just a shitty pencil sharpener, maybe it's just shitty pencils, I don't know. Just kind of annoying. But I like drawing with a pencil, I kind of like the feel to an extent. One thing, and man, it fucking gets, I mean, I wash my hands, but it gets fucking graphite everywhere, man. Like, that shit, like, even if you just touch the paper with the graphite on it, like, I've been drawing, for whatever reason, I've been drawing, as you said, Rudy, with that kind of drumstick hold position, and,
Was muted.
I don't really dislike it.
How dark that
it's
gets,
kinda
that's
nice
crazy. Charcoal's
in
nuts.
some ways. And yeah,
Charcoal's
it doesn't feel as like, it's not something that we were taught to like use a pencil or whatever with, that kind of grip. But I kind of like it. There's something about it, and it definitely feels
Look how
good
dark
if you're
that
like
gets,
doing
golly.
coloring or shading or whatever. It definitely feels
Charcoal's
better
fun.
for that, I think.
Maybe
But I
dump
mean,
this.
maybe I shouldn't do that. But maybe I'll continue using the grip. I kind of like it. But yeah.
Yeah, we talked about grip and sharpening and all that. So this is an older.
Is like,
this is an older video. I kind of responded to already.
I don't know. I still have the thing where I kind of like feel like I want to draw certain things. Like I tried to draw like a lamp. The lamp.
Oh yeah, okay. We went over this. All right. Get that. So we went through that. Where did you ask about like basic shapes and how to get started and stuff? Okay, yeah, this is it. This must be it. Where you're making your chili. Luminac like small chili football reality. We'll go over this later. Newbie gains. Okay, here we go.
I think that's all I had to say about that. And I guess the last, man, I haven't even gotten my
I mean, I'm
911
almost done
pixels
with
again.
the hard
No, that's
prepping
impossible.
done. I still have to, after I cook the sausages and stuff, I still have a fair amount
What
of
the
work to do,
fuck?
but
2 separate windows, 911 pixels. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Fuck this
that one's
place.
fairly easy. It's
Fuck
just kind
off.
of waiting, watching, and stirring.
Like entity, some kind of fucking, you know, like in Chrono Trigger, some fucking entity wants attention. Go away, man. Spell it out better,
Yeah,
dipshit.
I'm very slow at prepping stuff like the
Alright, let's do
vegetables
this.
and shit.
This needs to be weighted because I
Doesn't
got my
help that
fan going.
Knives that we got are pretty crap, so
I really need my light on.
that's my excuse.
Alright, we got the halo going again. I really need my light. Fucking
I
blind
guess
as a
the last
bat.
thing I was going to talk about was just kind
Low
of
light just kills me.
yeah. I haven't been doing like exactly an hour plus every day of the drawing. Like drawing practice. Like 2 days ago, I think I did like 50 minutes, and I decided to stop.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
Yesterday, I did like 35 or 40 minutes, and then I stopped.
This wood's a lot harder.
I don't know. I guess there's no reason to try and like force yourself.
Okay.
When you stop feeling like doing, there's not too much reason to just kind of force yourself to continue doing it longer. I guess it's as long as you do it like probably at least like 20 minutes is probably
So
when
this,
you'll actually start getting some benefits.
This core is a lot thicker, in case you can't tell. So I gotta be a little more careful when it... I guess not really, but... It's gonna be a lot closer to the wood, in other words.
At that point, so I don't think it's probably that big of a deal to kind of skip out some days or whatever for a certain.
Wish I had my other
skip out a little
box
bit,
cutter, because this one's
not
kind
go
of...
as long as you might.
It's hard to press up against
or
it.
whatever. But yeah, I've definitely been seeing gradual improvements, like every practice session, whatever you want to call it, to some extent, like with drawing. Mostly the motions, the muscle memory, I guess you could say, most of the motions of it and such, like drawing certain shapes in like one stroke and doing those shapes fairly well in one stroke, or being able to do it like more consistently and stuff. So yeah, I've been seeing improvements on that as I've been doing it and everything. So that's pretty cool. Now I don't know if what is it? What is it? The main thing that I've been trying to practice is like trying to make circles well, or kind of. I've been having some trouble, not so much with the circles. Like I've gotten kind of the circles themselves down and getting them like a fairly consistent shape in like one stroke most times. But fucking ovals, like
So just so y'all know, these pencils sometimes have this glue on them. I know you can't really tell, but there's like a very, very thin layer of glue between the wood and the material. So it's hard to like get through that sometimes. If you ever have issues get into the material itself after cutting through the wood, it's because it's that really, really thin kind of whatever they use, adhesive. So yeah, that's in case you ever wondered why sometimes it's difficult.
the fucking ovals, like
Yeah, we're gonna go over ovals.
oblong circles, whatever you want to call it, like circles that are thicker. I guess no, they're not thicker. Like like an oval, like one that like an egg shape, like an exaggerated egg shape. Those I'm still having trouble. And I'm trying to get better at. For stuff like making those body
that'll do for now.
for bodies and stuff.
I'm not gonna sit here forever and do this.
The parts that aren't just the joints and the head and stuff. I'm trying to improve more on that. I've been doing some, experimenting with like 3D shapes and stuff, like the cubes and stuff. Even triangles and or in that case, triangles would be making pyramids or whatever.
Basic shapes, brother.
The other ones. Cylinders and stuff. Been trying to do a little bit of shading here and there to see if I can get like a better 3D effect through
My
shading
hands.
and stuff. Still having trouble making like a garbage can kind of
Messy,
thing, or like
messy.
a cylinder that has like a
Oh yeah, I got cylinders here.
empty inside,
Pretty funny.
and then you have to like shade the outer rim of that inside section, and then shade the outside to make it like from
So
pictures
funny.
I saw, it's not looking very close to some of them, so clearly I need to practice more on that and stuff. But
So we'll go over shapes. Want to try out this charcoal pencil. So we had a pretty good healthy chunk of material kind of exposed there. And so you could see all the. This is just from me touching it. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to turn off the light. Let's demonstrate. Let's get rid of this. Go ahead and demonstrate this charcoal pencil. I'm really curious of. I like stupid shit like this. So yeah, look at that. Pretty thick mark. I'd like to expose more. Yeah, that's about it. That's like, that looks like that's the thickness right there. And when you're doing it, you can spin it as you're. Spin it again. Spin it again. Kind of get used to that. But yeah, that's see here. That's kind of the lightest lightest shading I can get with this thing. Obviously, very bold lines. So circles. Let's rewind a bit.
yeah, it is. Been doing some, experimenting with like 3D shapes and stuff, like the cubes and stuff. Even triangles and or in that case, triangles would be making pyramids or whatever. The other ones, cylinders and stuff. Been trying to do a little bit of shading here and there to see if I can get like a better 3D effect through shading and stuff. Still having trouble making like a garbage can kind of thing, or like a cylinder that has like an empty inside, and then you have to like shade the outer rim of that inside section, and then shade the outside to make it like from pictures I saw, it's not looking very close to some of them, so clearly I need to practice more on that and stuff. But yeah, it's
Erasers suck.
interesting to see the improvements fairly quickly, or whatever you want to say, just from doing like a little bit of practice here and there in some cases, in some
I was
sense.
laughing because that eraser sucks balls.
Even if the improvement is fairly minor,
Sucks
it's,
my
it's
balls.
interesting to see it in action. But I forget what they call that. Where I know beginners gains or whatever. I know that
Yeah.
once you get past a certain point, then the
You know that
beginner's gains
the phrase I was looking
and,
for was diminishing returns.
that's when you have to grind much harder to get more improvements. Like I think you probably mentioned it in one of your drawing tutorials, Rudy.
The thing I don't like about.
Maybe you did. Like you'll get like 80%
Mm-hmm.
of the skills that you need past a certain point fairly quickly, but then after that 80%, that's when it like all slows down. But yeah, and like weight training, they have a term for that. It's called like beginner's gains or whatever. Like you'll gain a lot of muscle early when you first start like lifting or some shit or doing some exercises, but after a point you kind of like plateau. After a point you kind of like plateau, and then the improvements kind of become really, really a lot slower. You have to put a lot more effort for every incremental gain after that point. But yeah, I mean, I could see the novice gains. I could see the very the improvements to some extent. Not very like significant ones, but I could feel it in my muscle memory or body memory kind of shit. So That's cool and everything. I think that was the main things. Unfortunately, I guess I could think of talking about that I had in my notes. And unless I think of anything else to talk about, I think I'm just gonna end this recording and this will be it, I
Okay,
guess.
so that was it for that. Okay, I just talk about my experiences with roof walls. Yeah, we'll go over that in a second. Okay. Yeah, when you start, you're gonna have a lot of gains at the beginning, like I said, beginner's gains. Then over time, excuse me, it's gonna be like diminishing returns after a while, you know? So what I'm doing here, kind of marking where I think I want the shadow to be. And circles are curved, right? So in order to make it look curved, you want your shadow to be curved as well. That's the trick to shading circles. The light is always going to bend over the object. And right here, I should really make kind of, well, skip that. Oh, good example. What I was about to say. So the light tends to not hit the edges like that. Light tends to go over surfaces, so the edge is usually lighter, and then it gets darker, going out right. So that's why I kind of did that there. There's no lines, there's no edges in real life, okay? There's only, like, there's no edge to this pencil, for instance. Like, if you were to draw this, the only thing that exists when you're drawing or when you're rendering is value difference. So if you were to draw this pencil, there's a value difference, this complete black up against the white. There's no physical, obviously there's no physical line, duh, but there's no line, right? It's just a value change. Meaning, how do I put it? Shading. Like shading. Oh, sheesh. So a value scale, we'll go over it real quick. Say if I want to make a value scale for this charcoal pencil, right? And I want to go from darkest to lightest, dark to light. And just to kind of test out the pencil, right? Say if I got a new pencil, I'm trying to get a feel of how dark and how light I can get. So I want to shade it in all the way, just as a start. This is called value, okay? Light and dark. Light and dark is called value. Whenever I say value, I'm talking about lights and darks. This is the darkest it'll get. Gradually getting lighter. Probably could have made the box a little bit smaller, but it's fine. Gradually getting lighter, okay? You want, touch it up a bit. Maybe a little darker this side. Do another layer. Another layer of value. To really get a good scale going, to get an idea of how dark you can go. This is the darkest it can get right here. I'll go and do another layer. I'll do 3 layers, right? And that's the lightest. Lightest you can get. So that's value. I don't think it showed very well, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna erase this at the end here. Just to kind of make it disappear. These are trash. These fucking rubber fucking pieces of shit. Anyway, but that's for this particular charcoal stick. This medium charcoal stick, alright? So that's its value range. That's the darkest, that's the lightest. Like what I did here, if you were watching, I kind of did the lightest shading I could at first to get a value scale going, figure out where I want the darkest to go, and then go in between. So I want the darkest more than likely to be where the surface touches right here. Say pretend it's on the ground, right? Already. See, that's all it needs. That's all I needed. That's like 3 tone right there. So all you need is 3 tones to even signify that something's grounded. You can really get an impression that the ball is physically on something, alright? If I wanted to, kind of shade a pretend surface here. I'm going super light. I'm barely touching the paper. That's what I mean. This is how this is what I mean by value. When I talk about value, I talk about lights and darks. Right? Super simple. Super easy. Super simple, super easy. This is and it's maybe a little unfair to me for me to say things like that, but when did I start? I always forget the damn year. 2013. So I've been drawing for over a decade. And I'm gonna say this is a decade of experience, right? Shading and rendering a circle or a sphere in less than 5 minutes, not even 2 minutes, right? Maybe I spent like 2 minutes on this, but that's because I've done it so many times, okay? You can't see the amount of work I've done the past decade. This is a decade of experience. So there's no need to rush, right? Again, decade of experience, decade of experience. I want to go here, flesh out this. It's a little messy, but I really wanted to ground it a bit, emphasize the edges just a little bit. Go in here. Same thing I did over there, the other drawing. Slowly, there's no grit on this side. Slowly darken it. I'm just using verticals, I'm using horizontal strokes, that's all I'm doing. Not showing it, my bad. This is what I'm doing. Okay, we can see it now. Sorry about that. That's all I'm doing. Darkest is where it's touching the ground. Imaginary ground. It's just an illusion. Alrighty. Probably overworking it. So I think y'all saw what I was doing here, yeah. I need to look up at OBS more. If I really wanted to, I can go this pencil here and lighten up the background or whatever. And this is just a sphere floated in space, okay? There's nothing special going on. There's no composition, there's no story, there's no characters involved, there's no emotions. It's just a fucking sphere, okay? There's nothing what's it called, unique about it. There's nothing happening. So this is just practice. I'll darken just a tiny bit. I want there to be light spots on the other side. Alright? Sphere and a pyramid. I'll show you how I did. I'll show you how I started that pyramid in a moment. I'll do it now, actually. New page. Forget this exists. Do it again if you have to. Alright? So, with the pyramid, I started with the base. I hate these. This is why I prefer a clipboard. So I started with the base in perspective, okay? One line. So like I said, the imaginary horizontal horizon, right? One line going this way, one line going that way to start off the base. Like this is pointing towards a horizon, a vanishing point. That's pointing towards the vanishing point on some imaginary horizon. I'm very lightly sketching with this. Better off using a pencil. Okay. So how to find the middle? How do I find the middle? It's very simple. And I watched a guy. I forgot what he was doing. I think he was making making custom sunshades for his car. And he was using pieces of cardboard. And in order to find the middle, so where he can put his little suction cup, so he can cut a hole. He was doing this retarded thing where he was taking his measuring tape from each side like this, and then calculating the middle. I'm like, dude, stop. You got edge right here, edge right here. Line up that edge. Edge right here, edge right here. Line up that edge. Boom. There's your middle. That's all. That's all it takes to find the middle of a four-sided object. Right. So there's a middle. I'm gonna go vertical with it. Straight up and down. This point is in the middle. You can think of this as a whole cube. This is the middle up here, going up. You're just gonna connect the dots. There's a backside. We don't have to worry about the backside, but the backside would be like that. The shape back there, you know, facing away from us. This shape back here, facing away from us. Facing that way. Facing that way. This shape right here. Right there. And we can erase all this in the back. I really should just get the kneaded eraser out. We can erase that vertical line. We don't need it anymore. Right? These lines are going to blend eventually anyway. Oh my god, these erasers blow. I just want a reason to complain. Like a boomer in that regard. Just complain about something. These erasers suck. Start complaining. Who cares? So that's the pyramid. That's how you do a pyramid. It's really simple. And you can mess with the shape, right? You can do this. Make this side really long. Find the middle again. Middle. Yep. You want to do another pyramid, you know? So really simple. Eventually you can start freehanding them. Without really... You increase your visual library, right? And you can start doing it by hand. You can picture it in your head. You can picture it on the paper before you even draw anything. Like for instance, for me personally, I can do this. Well, what the fuck is that, right? It's a square. Well, it's a rectangle, rather. So I got my visual libraries kind of set up to make a box like that. With just doing that outline, right? So if I really wanted to, say if I didn't draw these at all. I talked about how there's no edges, right? And start doing this. I already have it. I can already visualize this plane right here, facing this way. This plane right here is facing that way. I can see it in my mind's eye already. Start shading it. Emphasize the ground a little. Round it up. As an outline a little bit. Okay. Just like that. See how natural that looks? Without any hard lines. There's people out there that are way better at this than me. Like a stick of butter. You want to section it up. Line's a little wrong. You know, cut lines into it. Go vertical, then follow the form. Follow the form. Not so serious. I'm gonna ruin this drawing. On purpose. Let's say I want this to be shaded in. Create the illusion. See already? See what I did? See how easy that was? I created the illusion of that this is another color from this. Like if this, you can pretend this is black and white. Let's say this is the color red, right? The color red's darker on the spectrum. It's got a lower value, local value. It's called local value, in case you don't know. The color red is a naturally darker color. So I gave the illusion that this is a different color from these two sections. So as for the triangle, you know, same thing. Go over it really lightly. Use a regular pencil. And I did that with the charcoal pencil, y'all. So use whatever you want. Use a pen. I'll do it with a pen in a minute, just to show you. Look at that. One simple tone, right? You got your lightest tone on there. Ground. We'll go ahead and emphasize the ground there. Ground shadow. This is shadow, okay? Don't think of it as a line. Think of it as a shadow. And already, it's showing some depth, right? Doing the exact same thing I did in the other drawing. A one note kind of guy. Impress the idiots. Impress your mom. Oh, he's so talented. Oh wow, he's so talented. Wow, impress your friends. Wow, how long did it take you to learn that? It must be a gift from the gods. Nope. Pick up a pen, dipshit. Pick up a pen, idiot. Pick up a pencil, idiot. I'm gonna make a art channel, just call people morons. You can't do this? Like, what's wrong with you? Come on, man. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican and slow. I learned this from scratch. Zero skill. Age 32. When I was 32, I started drawing. Age doesn't fucking matter, guys. I started when I was in my 30s, guys. I'm 40. What am I, 42 now? This is just a fucking. This is a learned skill. You just suck. Not you, Kirk. Kirk knows I'm not talking to him. Kirk's gonna blow me away one day. He's gonna fucking surpass me. I'll be so happy when he does. I was so glad when, like, the people I used to give advice to just got way better than me, and I'm like, fucking shit, nice. Same thing I did with the other side, with the other drawings. Wow. So talented, guys. Hope y'all know I'm fucking around. Whoa. How do you do it? How do you do that? How do you do that? I am sketching with a charcoal pencil. You'll have the art teachers tell you don't sketch with a charcoal pencil, you sketch with a regular pencil. Grab yourself a 2B. 2B doo. Fucking 2B from Nier Automata. It's called. This is simple. This ain't shit. Fucking hell, man. What's it gonna take? Kirk knows that, right? I'm not talking to Kirk. Kinda looks like a package of bubblegum. Like a package of Bazooka Joe. I like it. I like my own drawings. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with liking your own shit. What was the other thing? Oh, you can do it with pen, right? Another demonstration. Took less than 5 minutes for probably both of those. I didn't time it. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Who cares? I'm sick of using this sketchbook. I don't like sketchbooks, especially that little bitty one. So again, I did cylinders, fucking around with shapes. I don't think there's anything new last time. What time is it? Fucking 12 a.m. Jesus H. Christ. Somebody shoot me. Forgetting what I want to talk about as well. So, okay. I gotta keep this up so I don't forget.
Hopefully, I think the improvements.
What was it, cylinders?
Tough shit or doing some exercises, but after, I think that's all I had to say about that.
Oh yeah, let me show you a pen real quick before I forget. There's no room here. There we go. Let me fix my camera. Hold on, guys. Get it. Got an angle here. It'll be kind of straight. A little bit straight at least. So, the thing I did, where I just drew the outline. Get that flow going. I can't get as light. Actually, can't get as light as I can with like the charcoal pencil. Funny. So outline. It's just a shape. Whoa. Outline of a box. I'm doing the exact same thing I did a while ago. I'm a one-note kind of guy. Alright? Started with the outline. That's because I know the shape. Simple. It's a stick of butter. I'm doing the exact same thing I did a while ago. Vertical line there. Follow this line, this perspective there. Follow the form. Follow the form. So it's a little bit off, but it's fine. What I mean by follow the form, guys, I'm going to show y'all. So we got a circle. Circle. There's a form to this. I'm going to say follow the form. So let's say we got a line. Like when I do heads, there's a form to this. You gotta feel out the form. There's a form to this circle, okay? Maybe it's something like that. The top. Feel out the form. Like that. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by form. There's form to things. You can draw a random shape. Do something like that. You kind of have to make it up. I'm gonna find the middle of this shape. Let's say it's this. Do something like that. So the vibe I'm getting, something like that. Maybe it's not quite, but you can kind of make this up somewhat. But it's a really good exercise. Finding the form, finding the form. Alright? It's all about, that's the word of the day, it's the phrase of the day. This takes a little, this does take practice. This is a random shape. Just gonna kind of bold the outline here. Kind of looks like a peanut. So yeah. See what I did? Following the form. This is what I mean when I say I'm following the form of this box, this natural form, flat edges, so it's really simple. It's a little more complicated. Like I said, these are made up shapes. Your circle doesn't exist in real life. Whatever this shape is doesn't exist. So shading, I gotta look at reference. Okay, so shading, I had to look at reference. It's pathetic. Say I do something like that. So that's gonna be my base value. That's a value, okay? So value with pen, won't make it as long. Dark, light, okay? We'll do it with hatching. So it's gonna be harder to see, but I'll obviously I'll go close up in a minute. Gotta make it darker. Darken that a lot. Okay. That's a value range with a pen. From darkest to lightest. Alright? So I pick a value, right? Let's say this is a 5, darkest, a 1 will be a 3. So the value I kind of picked, it's a little bit above a 1 for this as a base value. Kind of the lightest I can get it. This is an illusion, okay? These lines, the line frequency is just an illusion of dark and light. So I want this side to be darker. First of all, again, like I did with the other thing, I'm going to emphasize this shadow that's touching the ground to give the illusion of groundedness, right? want to play with that some more. So I'm going to go ahead and shade this. Then I'm going to shade this side. So I kind of got almost like a three-tone thing there. Next, let's go ahead and darken this up. Do another layer. 3 tones, 3 different colors, right? This is all with just a pen and cross hatching and hatching. Hatching is this, in case you don't know. That's hatching. Single stroke hatching and double stroke create the illusion of value. You can do this. You can do like a practice with this as well. Let's say if I wanted to do a 3-tone, just to make it very simple. We'll do the same thing. I'm just going to keep this at a 1. So I want this to be darker. Make that as simple as possible, just to demonstrate it. Alright, so the 1 is just blank, 2 is just single stroke hatching. This one's a double hatch to make it darker. Okay? That's what I did up here. Same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the other drawings. German frame. Again, starting with my lightest kind of hatching, or lightest lines, the illusion of value through vertical line, or through horizontal, these horizontal lines I'm doing. I'm going to start darkening it up right there. Whoa, how's he do it? He must be a prodigy. Less than 5 minutes, y'all. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying that to show y'all that this ain't shit. Look, 2 different mediums, same result, same illusion. It's an illusion. Drawing's supposed to be fun. Calm down. What else? Cylinders. Cylinders are a little weird. You can think of cylinders as kind of a wire, like a wire mesh to start off. Let's say cylinders really do start in perspective. I'm not going to get into that, but I guess I can. So let's say you got a horizontal line. Let's say you got a cylinder sitting right there, and you're looking at it straight on, and this is a flat edge, there's no roundedness to it, right? And as you start looking down on it, let's say we're looking down on it, it's going to start doing this. Alright? As we're looking down on it, it starts, you know, doing that perspective-wise. So we're going to make it a little larger. We're looking more down on it, right? Perspective is all about your perspective, your point of view. That's what perspective means. It's off. It's fine. For demonstration purposes, it's fine. I like to do this number to give the illusion of form, or give the illusion of surface. Just to emphasize, this is flat. This top part is flat. See what I mean? If I want to, I take a chunk out of it. Let's bring this line down and follow that. Follow those lines going that way. I just took a chunk out of that cylinder. Like a little cheese wheel. If I want to emphasize that, I can go ahead and give it some value, give it some shading. There, darken that up. Whoa, dude. So good. I'm saying shit like that because the fucking normies, dude. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm saying that because the fucking normie bullshitters who go, how did you do that? I can't make a stick figure. You can fucking try. You know? You want to do something like this. Whoops. Fine. Kind of emphasize these chunks, right? You really get the illusion that it's some kind of weird thing. Some kind of rounded thing, weird rounded shapes. Kind of fuck that up, oh well. I ain't too worried about it. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So if I wanted to go further, bigger, not a bigger, but of more, we're looking more down at it, right? Down. Lie down. Try to match. I'm gonna do my best to match it. Match that curve there. Pretty good. Okay. I see the flaws in my own shit, okay? So this is what this is. If I can do this right. I probably won't, but yeah, it's off. But anyway, like I said, this is flat surface up here. That down just to emphasize that it's a flat surface, okay? So cylinders do this. If you want to practice, kind of do this number. Try to keep it the best you can at one angle. Something like that. Shade that top. Okay? Like a barrel, you know? Like you said, you're having issues with barrels. I'm not going to pull up a reference, but yeah.
And I guess the last, man, I haven't even gotten my, I mean, I've almost got the hard parts, the prepping done. I still have to, after I cook the
I
sausages
think he's talking
and
about
stuff,
food.
I still have a fair amount of work to do, but most of that work's fairly easy. It's just kind of waiting.
Anyway, if you got questions about that, let me know. I think I demonstrated that well enough.
Waiting, watching, and stirring. But, yeah, I'm very slow at prepping stuff like the vegetables and shit. Doesn't help that my knives that we got are pretty crap, so that's my excuse. I guess the last thing I was going to talk about was just kind of yeah, I haven't been doing like exactly an hour plus every day of the drawing, like drawing practice. Like 2 days ago, I think I did like 50 minutes and I decided to stop. And yesterday I did like 35 or 40 minutes and then I stopped. I don't know. I guess there's no reason to try and like force yourself.
Okay, so we kind of went over that already, huh? What else? What else? What else? Stimulus junkie. Okay, we went over all that. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover regarding that. So the comment I left, I think I just wanted to go over like these art humps. Yeah, okay. Alright, so art humps. So I'm gonna make like a chart. It's gonna be a really half-assed chart, okay? How should I do this? I should have practiced this ahead of time, just so I won't have to sit here and think about it. How do charts work, first of all? I forget how charts work. So art eye, so you got art skill and your eye, your art eye, right? Yeah, so let's say, let's make 2 lines. This is progress, right? So I need a colored pen. I think I gave them to my daughter. Okay, this will do, I guess. Shitball brush. So let's say your RI, gonna be a regular pen color, and your skill. I'm pretty sure you understood this when I was talking about it. Gonna be this blue mark. So you start off at 0, right? 0 skill. And by the way, that's not true. I'm just giving an example. You have a visual library already, especially since you're in your 30s. So you have an idea of what art you like already, right? So you already kind of have skill because you still have your visual eye, your visual library. It's just your skill hasn't caught up to that visual library. And and sometimes in some cases it never will. Which is fine. So pause. Alright, let's show it this way. So this is time, right? Going this way. This is your eye level. This is your skill level and how it fluctuates. So you got these points, right? This is where you plateau when your when your visual library and your ability to see good art, right? Your eye is and your technical skill are at the same level, and that's when you plateau. And that's when you start, like, at least for me, I started like getting bouts of bouts of like depression and low self-esteem from these points. These points is when I would start experiencing that. So my skill started going up and up and up and up and up. And it's at this point when when the skill plateaus is when I start liking my art, right? Because my eye hasn't caught up to my skill. But eventually my eye starts catching up, right? And again, another plateau. But the thing is, these 2 points, this point where you plateaued is higher than this point. And that's when you start making the gains. The actual, like, solidified gains. Okay? Then it happens again. Your eye catches up. Your eye gets ahead of your skill, right? And then you're on top of the world right here. Maybe your skill probably don't go down, right? But I'm just giving it's a good way to put it. Your skill hasn't caught up to your eyeballs. And then you get up here, another plateau. But guess what? You started off way down here. You hit this plateau, and this plateau, and then this plateau. These are good things. Like, you're still climbing the hill, right? So just to give the example of that, of what I was talking about. Yeah. I think we're done giving a visual demonstration. Oh yeah, I didn't mess with the charcoal stick. Whoa. This is just on printer paper. That's pretty cool. Fucking charcoal sticks are messy. Let's see here. Yeah, that goes onto this a lot easier. Okay. Here, I'm gonna put it up. Alright guys, we're back. So like I said in Kirk's comment, I was gonna show kind of like where I could tell I was visually plateauing. And a lot of these aren't too bad. This beginner stuff. I think some of these were collaborations. A few of this stuff was collaborations. Hold on. Get rid of this shit. There we go. Alright. So, like, what year was this? 10 years ago. Wow. They don't have a date. Just says 10 years ago. So this is around 2015. It's kind of funny. Like, stuff like this ain't bad. This was 10 years ago, so yeah, 2015. I'm gonna have to be real careful what I show. I logged out just so the not safe for work stuff wouldn't show. It's gonna be a cringe fest, okay? So, you know, stuff like this really fucked up kind of perspective weirdly warped perspective. Like these ears, I don't like. A lot of it ain't too bad. If I were to like critique my own shit, but I can tell when talking about the plateauing thing, right? I can tell when I plateaued. Like around this time, you can tell I kind of hit a wall in terms of like skill and visual library, right? So here's some actual sketches. Show this off. 10 years ago, so yeah, it was around 2015. This was reference. I can already tell you it's reference. I think that's just a meme. I was drawing memes. So this has to be all reference. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell I drew that from my memory. So these are all studies. This is all studies with Spike. Spike the Dragon. That might have been, this one right here might have been from my own visual library. No, from memory. Oh, I drew that on an index card. What is this? What in the world? Oh, I was thumbnailing. Even way back then, I was thumbnailing. That's crazy. So this is a bunch of not safe for work. I like this angle with forget her name. The stupid siren ponies. This ain't bad. I know who this is, but Coloratura. That ain't it. Ooh. Oh, that must be somebody else. It's not who I thought it was. So this right here. This is not. I do not like this at all. I think it's just interesting to see. I think this. Okay, and I talked about eureka moments. I think this one was like, no, this was the big one for me when I could tell that I understood something, which was this the underneath this chin right here. I don't know, I felt like I understood what it meant to like tilt the head, you know what I mean? This was a eureka moment for me. This very distinct memory of this when I figured it out, and I was like, holy shit, I feel like I'm actually improving. Like I felt like my skill finally caught up to my eyeballs, or rather my skills surpassed my eyeballs, or something along those lines. Weird vor stuff. Just ignore that. See if we can tell when I actually start getting when the difference, you know, the skill difference. This is pretty good. I remember when I did this. This was an experiment with like silhouette shapes. How do I put it? Silhouette and profile. You know, parts of the that stick out, like the hat, Rarity's hair, Pinkie Pie's little whatever, pompadour. You know, the wings, the edges here, Fluttershy's unique little swirl that she's got going on. I remember that specifically. So that was probably another kind of eureka moment. If that makes sense. Pony butts. I felt like I was in a rut. I liked this one a lot. Thought it was pretty good, but I don't like the style, if that makes sense. I didn't like my style here, but I'm okay with the shading looking at it. Yeah, I was really hitting a rut right here with these the snouts. Oh, that was a friend. I drew that for a friend. He really likes some like snake naga creatures, so I drew him that 9 years ago. Crazy to think back on it. This ain't bad. Who's this? Coco Pommel? Yeah. I think I did this for a friend. Yeah, my friend from Arkansas. He really liked it. Again, I don't like the ears, but the rest, yeah, the rest is solid in my opinion. What else? What else? I was just experimenting with shading there, I think. This ain't bad. This pose is pretty good. I like the I like how alive this seems. If that makes sense. Here you can see I'm missing with form, like I talked about form a while ago. That was me figuring out the form of the body, connecting the legs and bending the legs. And I like this a lot. That's cool. I like the sketchiness of it. This is weird. This neck, man, what the fuck? It's like a sausage going on. I don't like it. I think I had another eureka moment. Yeah, with this. I don't remember what the occasion was why I drew Luna. But yeah, I felt like I had another epiphany, like another eureka moment with this. Even though that leg's a little strange. But these legs, oh, those, it looks like it's connected okay. Wraps around. This is where the joint, where the leg connects wraps around decently. Uh, these aren't bad. Yeah, I can look back at my stuff and be like, this is okay. I don't remember this. Oh, a post-it note. I drew her with a post-it note on her horn. It's a cool pose. I like that pose. Oh yeah, the disheveled rarity. That one's pretty good. I like this a lot. I still like this a lot. My friend really liked it. My friend from Arkansas really likes rarity. The only thing off about it is this giant fucking leg over here that's way the fuck over here. It should be over here if I were to line it up. Like again, thinking in boxes. If you were to box this up, the bottom here, pretend this is a box. On the ground, the hoof should be over here. That's why it's important to draw boxes. Experimenting with sitting down pose. I think this pose right here led to this pose over here. And I just kind of projected the pose at an angle, if that makes sense. Pretty good. Here's a study with see how it wraps around. Joints right there, joints right there, joints in the backside, and it wraps around. Thinking of cylinders, thinking of barrel shapes. That's cute. Oh, I remember what this was. This was a toy that I rendered for an MLP thread. God, I wish I could find the toy. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I wanted it, like I wanted the physical toy. I thought it looked cool. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, where'd this come from? This from reference? I think I may have been screwing around. It looks kind of suggestive. Oh my god, wow, I didn't ground that at all. That's crazy. That's not bad. Oh, here we go. You can tell that you can tell I started understanding this a whole lot better. This is what I mean, like I can visually see when I started understanding this stuff a lot more. Kind of finding my own, my own way, if that makes sense. When was this? 9 years ago. So yeah, there's really quick gains, crazy gains, in that short amount of time. 9 years ago, October 1st, 2016. Jesus, the hell's the time gone? That one, this one. Yeah, October 2nd, 2016. I like despondent expressions. Kind of goth girl. I guess goth girl expressions. Rest in bitch face kind of things. Yeah, you can tell that I really started to understand things a lot more. Wow, look at that angle. That's a killer angle for the head. That's cool. I like the hair in that. Let's see. Yeah, I like this a lot. The volume of the hair that I did. And here as well. Yep. I still like that, so I still draw like that. You can tell I kind of just stuck with what I really liked after a while. This is good. I like this a lot. The hair's a little weird, but it's whatever. I think I was just screwing around. I was literally just painting. I was usually just making strokes, and this is what I came up with eventually. Chip. Chip on her nose. I didn't do this. This isn't me. I wish I could render like this. Holy shit. That's my friend Duop. Duop. Yeah, Duop's a cool guy. He's still drawing. This. A month ago, he's still drawing. Oh wow. I ought to shoot him a message. I like his style a lot. Pretty cool guy. Very, doesn't have a lot of confidence in himself. That I try to help him overcome that a little bit. He likes the despondent, kind of ponies as well. Kind of like I did. He's very into, obviously, into pet play. Whatever, man. So, I like this one. This is cool. I like the volume in that barrel, that chest, the barrel of the chest there. Whatever. Cool angle. I was really I was nailing it, man. Jesus. It's a shame I stopped. Very cute. I think I was experimenting with whites, like making it completely white against the pink background with this weird texture in the background. What else? Chrysalis. Yeah, this is my friend. Well, I don't know if we consider him a friend now, you know? So that's Chrysalis. I had a friend who really liked Chrysalis. Yeah, this is so cool. I was trying to emulate this dude because I admired his the way he cell shaded things is really cool. Really gave that, you know, emphasis on here where you can really see the volume, you know. I love that. It's really super cool. Oh yeah, I remember this. It's fucking cringe. All of this is cringe, man. Jesus Christ. Year are we in? How close are we getting? These are kind of weird. Oh yeah, this is a drawing 8 years ago. So this is a drawing. The doo-wop? Yeah, he did do that. So he took one of my sketches of my OC. That's a penis. Of my OC and rendered it. Yeah, like that. That's really cool. The watercolor. He has watercolor. I did this. That's me watercoloring and using pen and ink. Oh, there's no comments. I get my ego stroked for a second. I did that for a friend who's leaving the military. He really liked Big Mac. I did that with colored pencil. I think his name is Warthog. Yeah, he leaves messages on my stuff every now and then on my post plays channel. So yeah, I did that for him. To see me doing cylinders on the side. Yep. It's a huge difference from when I started. This is what I mean, like the plateaus that you hit. You got to remember if your plateau's right here. There it is. Your plateau is way up here. Your starting point was way down here. That's the point I'm trying to make. I can't tell. I can't tell if this is the same value as the paper. I like this a lot. What is this? Is this ink? Yeah, I think this is like a bottle of ink. Okay, yeah, this is whiteout. No. It's either whiteout or white paint, one of the two. And I think this is white right here is just the color of the paper. And then I put whiteout to put highlights. Kind of funny trying to figure out whatever. And I rendered this. See, this is when I started figuring out that I like graphic art. When I started putting weird, you know, I took a square brush and started making weird strokes. The background there. There's Doo-wop again. Yeah, Doo-wop's cool guy. He took another one of my sketches, one of my ink drawings, and the motherfucker put wings. You bitch. Because I draw my Twilights without wings. And he put wings on him just to fuck with me. He was fucking around. This shit poster. He's always giving me a hard time. Close to the end here. This is all Inktober. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is really cool. I like the skinny legs, kind of penny and stocking vibe. Yeah, I would say that's kind of not really, sorta. I think that's what I had in mind though when I was doing it. It's hard to find an example. Kind of the same vibe, sorta. Anyway. Who's this? Oh, it's Rarity. Make her more look like a horse. See, this is how I grounded it, dude. Darken the, actually implied that the hoof was facing this way. Darkened at the bottom. You know, the touching points. And then just kind of scribbled lines. And this is all hatching. Got some dots in there. Very deliberate dots. I can tell they're deliberate. It's not a mistake. This is with a glass pen using ink, using like pink ink. Just fucking around with different mediums. Oh yeah, this is probably one of my favorites. Post-it note art. That's in the trash somewhere. Kinda cool. I like this one. Yeah, we're headed towards the end here. So yeah, just experimenting. The legless ponies. I was just literally drawing barrels on the ground like that. You know, like how I did with the rectangles earlier. I literally did that same thing, and then put a pony head on it and the tail. I literally did the same thing. What I showed y'all a while ago. What is this? I don't remember doing this. Is this me? It's one of those things where I was like, what? I don't remember doing that shit. Fake news. Yep, this is one of my favorite sketches. Probably one of my favorite of all time. Like I said, that leg on the outside needs to be back a little bit. You want to imagine a square. Like I said, ground a square. Ground and square. The hoofs needs to be up here somewhere. This basics, man. It's you know, this fundamentals. Suppress Pinkie Pie, showed that off. I think that's the end. How long ago was this? 6 years ago. Jesus Christ. I put myself on a do not post list though, so I don't like the people on this website anymore. Bunch of fucking weirdos. As usual. Bunch of liberal fucks. Like a liberal fucking whack jobs. They're all a bunch of whack jobs. Like the admin. Admin was always threatening to dox people and stuff. Because only when you log in, it shows your IP address, shows your location and all that. He was threatening to dox people at one point. He's such a fucking faggot. I literally wanted to, like, beat that dude up. Like, I wanted to get violent with him. Such an asshole. What a bunch of fucking asshole he was. Two-faced bitch. Anyway. um... Nothing else. I think there's not much else to say. Yeah. This is a cool pose. That leg's a little long. A little too long. But yeah. Yeah, it is a lot long. Yeah. That's my art. Yeah. But it's a huge difference, right? Looking back on it. And it's not even that bad. Like, this ain't bad. It's fine. Anyway, I think that's it. It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm tired. I wanted to watch Kirk play more Chrono Trigger. And now I can play a game, but it's like I'm just too tired for that. Like doing that art what's it called? Demonstration took it out of me a little bit. Not only that, I've been up since like 5 a.m. Alright guys, Kirk, I hope that helps. Hope y'all found this entertaining and share the video with your friends or whatever. You don't have to like it, I don't give a fuck. That's it. Y'all take it easy.